Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 938, and today's topic is the research study conducted by WHO about the environmental toxicity of pesticides. Some countries like Japan, Canada, UK, under the umbrella of WHO, they conducted the research studies and they found that the pesticides in nanogram per gram contamination in living organisms and marine animals are hazardous and toxic. And it was found in Japan that the dead golden eagle, vultures, when their body muscles were subjected to research and they found that they were contaminated with chlorinated hydrocarbon pesticides, and most of these toxic effects are due to chlorinated hydrocarbon in the form of DDT, in the form of hexachlorohexane, in the form of di and trichlorobenzene or chloropheniles. So these chloro derivatives of pesticides, they are putting lot of toxic impact on our environment. And also during this research they found that even the hatching newborn birds, eggs, they were also having in traces nanogram per gram contamination of these pesticides, and that affects their hatching as well as when the eggs are not capable of producing the birds. And that is the reason. That's why we might have noticed that in Asian countries where pesticides are more frequently used, lot of these bird species, especially the scavengers and eagles, their population is drastically reduced. And even in India, it is very common to understand that in villages, sparrow and some other medium group birds, their population is reducing day by day, and it is one of the factors, that is contamination of pesticides. And today, according to that research of WHO, globally we are losing 200 to 300 billion US dollar, and if it is calculated in terms of kilogram, then 15 to 30 kilogram pesticide, and that 15 to 30 kilogram pesticide, that is determined because that billions of dollar loss is due to the millions of tons of production of pesticides and insecticides. And also during research it was found that lot of marine animals, whale, dolphin, fish, they were all contaminated, and their reproductive system, their hormone, enzymes, they were all not functioning properly. And the women who were working in pesticide industries, it was found that either premature abortion or sometimes they were not able to conceive the pregnancy, even the pregnancy was disturbed. So all these lot of toxic and hazard effect is there in the environment as a whole, on human beings, on other animals. So here I am discussing the research studies conducted under the supervision of WHO in different countries. Number one, a WHO study conducted from 1990 to 2000 has shown an increased rate of birth defects, spontaneous absorptions and premature deliveries among female workers and unemployed wives of male workers as a result of exposure to pesticides. So the first report what they have noticed, the researchers, that the women, whether directly they are working in the pesticide industries or those unemployed domestic women or homely who are not working but their husbands are working, they are also becoming the victim of this pesticide toxicity. And workers as a result of exposure to pesticides. Up to half of the Inuit women in Canadian Arctic are consuming toxic pollutant at least levels that grossly exceeds all international safety limits. The seals, whales and fish are contaminated with pesticides. Number 2, the WHO study shows that 48% women of Baffin Island in northern Canada take in more of pesticides, and that pesticide is chlordane, and then what is World Health Organization WHO consider tolerable. The mercury Hg level exceeds by 29% and PCBs by 16%. Chlordane and PCBs can damage the liver and also reproductive and immune system, even to the extent of causing cancer. These are all the research study conducted under the supervision of WHO. The WHO study also shows that the levels of chlordane in the breast milk of the Inuit women are 10 times higher than the milk of women in the south of Canada. The levels of PCBs, their PCBs mean they are all chlorinated hydrocarbons. The PCBs have been found to be 5 times higher than women in South Canada. The pollutants are carried to the north by prevailing winds and currents and work their way into the food chain until they end up in large fish and mammals. Most of the pollutants come from Russia, and this Russia, which has not signed the UN agreement to check and balance the pollution of pesticides. Number 3, the WHO means World Health Organization. A recent study reports that high concentration of pesticides inhibits the tissues of dolphins, whales, seals. They are marine animals, so they used to inhibit, and polar bears. Toxic fogs, wind and rain laced with herbicides and other pesticides threatens forests and other ecosystem. So because of wind, and these toxic fogs with wind, they are also affecting our forests and other ecosystem. Environmentalists, researchers in Japan have found high levels of hormone disruption. So this is a very interesting research finding by Japanese researchers that they disrupt, they damage even the hormone function in the animals, including polychlorinated biphenyls. These PCBs means polychlorinated and biphenyls. So the polychlorinated biphenyls and DDT, they are really causing lot of toxicity, lot of poison, lot of hazard to all living organisms including plants, and that is the serious issue. And this hormone disruption including polychlorinated biphenyls and DDT, that is diphenyl and dichloro trichloroethane, that is DDT, in dead golden eagle chicks and unhatched eggs around the country. Number 4, these chemicals, if I say these chemicals means this is PCBs and DDT, are responsible for the plummeting breeding rates of golden eagle over the past 10 years. So they are disturbing, these PCBs and DDTs, the eggs of the golden eagle, and sometimes the genetic material inside the egg, and the egg itself is damaged for the last 10 years. From this research was conducted between 1990 up to 2000. WHO researchers also reported that adult birds which ingest the chemicals are passing the compounds on to their offspring, and researchers measured the concentration levels of the chemical found in 8 unhatched eggs and 5 birds who died young. The research result showed that eggs contain high levels of PCBs, and the research result shows that eggs contain high levels of PCBs and DDT. PCBs were found in the highest concentrations ranging from 62 to 210 nanogram per gram, that is Ng per G, in infant, and 14 to 65 nanogram per gram in eggs. Although most of the chemicals detected are now banned in most of the countries, but still DDT and PCBs, they are banned in most of the countries, but at the same time they are also available in markets. So that is the reason, that there is no strict regulation or control to sell all these chlorinated hydrocarbons. And although the most of the chemicals detected are now banned in most of the countries, they are slow to decompose and can persist in the environment for a long time. The worldwide environmental and human health costs due to pesticides estimated to be $150 to 300 billions, or if we are calculating in kg, it is roughly $15 to 30 per kg pesticide use. So every kg what you are using, we are producing millions of tons of pesticides globally. So for each kg, the 15 to 30 dollar per kg loss is there in environment as well as in health. So with this I will stop, and again in coming lectures I will be continuing the toxic effect of these pesticides. Once again, thank you very much for watching the lecture.